about this remote learning is I've had way more time to spend on playing my own instruments and creating videos for you to enjoy. So my main instrument is oboe. I minored in piano and majored in oboe in college at Indiana University of Pennsylvania. And when I was about in elementary school, when it was time to choose a band instrument, I chose the oboe because my sister played oboe, and I wanted to be just like my older sister. And my sister went on to get her master's degree in oboe performance, taking lessons from the Pittsburgh Symphony principal oboist, Eldon Gatwood. And I have a story for you. Back when I was in college, a week at a time, the Pittsburgh Symphony would come to be in residency, and our classes would be canceled, and we would sit in on rehearsals with them. And it was absolutely a fantastic experience. Well, one particular year, we happened to be rehearsing Aaron Copland's Appalachian Spring. And if you recall, there's a big oboe solo in the middle of it called Simple Gifts. It's a shaker tune. And the solo was coming right up, and Mr. Gatwood was sitting next to me, and all of a sudden he took his reed out, leaned back, and I said, "Mr. Gatwood, the oboe solo's coming up," as if he didn't know. And he said, "Yeah, you take it." And I thought, no, please, no. And I realized that we were almost on the solo, and I didn't have any choice. So I played it, and I did okay. And it was a wonderful experience. I was scared to death at the time, but it worked out. So let me tell you about the oboe. First, I don't want my reed to dry out. I've soaked it for about 10 minutes in a little cup of water, and this helps the blades to vibrate the cane, and it gets the inside of the reed wet as well. A reed, an oboe reed, is double-bladed. It's a double reed. I don't know if you can see that. And you know what? I'm going to put this back in the water to keep it soaked up. And the cane is called a Rondo Donex, and I order it from France. And it comes like this. It's already folded and gouged. I put it on this little gizmo and whittle off the ends of the cane to make the edges smooth for when I wrap it onto the staple. Now, a staple, the reed that you saw is a cork staple. Here's some more reeds that I made. But some of these reeds have a metal bottom, and the theory behind that is the cork absorbs more sound, so the metal bottom would get more sound. And these metal bottom staples are made by Mark Chudnow, and you can see they come in a brass color and a silver. And so I was experimenting with different makes of material and the shapes. I haven't formed an opinion yet. A lot of it has to do with the cane itself and how it's cut. Two knives. This is the thicker knife, and it takes off the heavy bark of the reed. This is a Vitry knife, and it's good for the fine detail and to get the tip of the reed very, very thin. Most oboists have their signature color of thread. Mine's purple. To put the staple onto to make it easier to hold, you put it on a mandrel. And basically it's a handle to grab a hold of it for when you're wrapping and shaping the cane. After the cane is wrapped on, the piece of cane is like this, and to make it into two pieces, you have to cut off the end. So you chop off the end on a billet. So I'm not real warmed up. Let's see how it goes. And I've already said I'm a little bit out of practice, but we'll see. After I graduated from college, I played oboe in the Johnstown Symphony Orchestra in Pennsylvania for a while. Maybe you've heard of Johnstown. There was a big flood there many, many years ago. That was a chromatic scale from the lowest note up to the highest. I'm going to play a little bit of a concerto for you. This is called Concerto Number 8 in B flat by George Frederick Handel. And normally a concerto is written for a solo instrument accompanied by an orchestra. There's also a piano accompaniment. I have neither today, so I'll just be playing solo. I'm not going to be playing the whole thing, just a little bit of it to give you a sample. So here's Adagio, movement 1. There's nowhere to breathe in that piece of music, and as I showed you before, the opening is very, very tiny. You have to take a big breath to support the sound. Let's see if we can get closer. But then you have to let some of the air out to take in another big breath. This particular concerto has 4 movements. I'll just play a little bit of the next movement for you. It's allegro. So this is the oboe. You might want to consider taking up the oboe as your new band instrument. Actually, the oboe is very versatile. It can play in the band, in a concert band, or it can also play in a full orchestra. In fact, if you hear a professional orchestra, or even tempo, the Eastern Maine Pops Orchestra, which I conduct outside of the school day, the oboist gives the tuning note of an A. And all the other instruments tune to the oboe. So I hope you enjoyed this rendition, and thank you. Until next time, take care.